Everybody's talking about how competitive the current housing market is. But what if I told you there are ways to ensure you're gonna win in a multiple offer situation? What's up, guys? Anthony Esposito with eXp Realty, your local real estate expert right here in the Cleveland, Ohio area. Today, I'm gonna be sharing secrets with you to give you that edge you need to win your dream home, even in the toughest markets. If you have any questions regarding the real estate market or need help navigating it, go in the description below, click on my calendar link, book a call with me. I'd love to chat with you and see how I could help you like I help many others. So stay tuned because these tips can make the difference between getting that dream home or losing out. So let's start with one of the most obvious, yet I still have to stress, getting that pre-approval. Sellers are gonna prioritize who puts an offer in with a pre-approval and who doesn't. That can make or break you really quick. They're just gonna up and reject the offer if there are no pre-approvals and you're in that multiple offer situation. So you have to get a pre-approval. How do you go about that? Shop around. I know lenders hate when I tell people that, but do your due diligence. Find a mortgage lender that works for you. Pay attention to their track record. Make sure that, it's not just going to be the lowest rate. Check for closing cost. Check for how quickly the loan can close. There's so many different factors that go into it. Make sure that they are going to be there when you need them. You don't want to have someone working on like the 9 to 5 bank hours. Most real estate transactions are happening after 5 o'clock and on the weekends. You need to be able to get a hold of your mortgage lender when the time comes. And a quick tip for you, ensure your pre-approval is equal to or greater than your offer because that can make or break a deal really fast. Next up, make sure you're working with an experienced agent. And what I mean by that, you wanna have an agent who has actually been around the block and understands the complexity of working with multiple offers. You can't just go into it blindly. You gotta know what you're doing. For starters, how do you pick an agent? Interview them just like sellers would when they're selling a house. Find one that is going to suit you, that is gonna work for you. One of the quickest things that you could find out if it's an agent that's just looking for the next deal or they're looking for your best interest is they are asking you questions about your wants, your needs, why you're looking to buy right now. I could go down a rabbit hole, but they're solely gonna be focused on you. And then pay attention to their track record. Ask them if they've dealt with negotiating in multiple offers before, because that can be a huge game changer. You have to be willing to take their advice and trust in them that they are gonna give you exactly what you need to win in that multiple offer situation. Now, something that ties into picking an experienced agent, there's also the factor that that agent you work with needs to be able to build rapport with the list agent if they don't already have it. What I mean by that is communicating with that listing agent could make a huge difference in you winning that offer or you losing that offer. You want your agent to contact the list agent. Find out exactly what is the most important thing to the seller. Is it the purchase price, like the amount they're gonna get? Is there extended possession that they may need? Do they want a fast close? Are there, title company that they specifically want to work with? There's so many different factors that can go into it. But the agent communicating with that listing agent for the seller is going to be huge. And I've personally been in this situation where, I've maintained communication with the list agent. I've been, respectful towards them and the seller. It helps out more than you would actually know because they want to make sure on the selling side that they're gonna have communication from the buyers and the buyer's agent and everything is gonna just work nice and smooth. Nothing's gonna be difficult, nothing's gonna be delayed. So that all ties in together as finding your experienced agent that is gonna be working for you and working for you with having that best interest at hand. So the other thing that you want to do, and I've seen this go south really quick multiple times. When you're putting an offer in, there's multiple offers on the table. You have to come in with a strong offer. You will lose that offer 10 out of 10 times if you're coming in at list, below list. It's just guaranteed you are going to lose that offer. And when I say come in with a strong offer, that doesn't mean go like $1,000 over the asking price. You're gonna have to bump it up. Now I get it, you don't wanna overpay. The good thing is with a pre-approval, going through a mortgage and taking out a loan, you're only gonna be able to take out a loan for the appraised value. So as long as the contract's drawn up right and you don't have an appraisal gap in your offer, you're only gonna end up paying what the appraised value is at. If you offer, say, $350,000, the appraised value comes in at $340,000, yes, you and the seller need to mutually agree that it's gonna be $340,000. However, if the seller doesn't want to agree to that and it goes back on market, by law in Ohio, the list agent is required to give the reason why a house goes back on market if a buyer's agent asks. So if they send up saying it was the offer was over the appraised value, that's gonna show up, they're not gonna get that. So the majority of the time, everybody's gonna mutually agree to come to it as long as they know ahead of time that there's no appraisal gap, there's no surprises, and they understand that if the appraisal comes in less than the offer, it's gonna get bumped down. So again, that's where experienced agents come in play to let everybody know ahead of time. Now, when you do that strong offer, there's multiple ways of going around it and making it a strong offer that's not necessarily just the purchase price. Yes, you have to go over list if you want to get it. But what are the other parameters or the other needs that the seller wants? If there's extended possession, give them the extended possession. Maybe give them, if they want 2 weeks past closing for possession, give them the 2 weeks without a rent back. That could win that house for you. I get it, it's 2 weeks, but it's not all that much. And your earnest money, if you really want that house bad enough, up the earnest money amount to show the seller that you're committed for that house. So typically it's 1 to 5% is like the normal for earnest money. I see a lot more 1% here in this Cleveland area. So if you really want that house, let's say, you were thinking about putting $3,000 down of earnest money. Well, if you have it already, maybe put down $10,000 earnest money. That is going to show that you're not going to randomly just back out of the house or just vacate for no reason and run away from it. And the good thing about earnest money, as long as it's in the contract again, because the contract is going to draw up every little detail with your offer, it's just going to come off the back end, whether it come off of down payment, whether it come off of closing cost, whether it come off of towards commission, it's going to come off the back end is the way we kind of run things and do stuff. Typically, all the contracts I have done, they've all come off the closing costs, which include your down payment and your cost for, title and mortgage lender fees. So it's just an upfront payment, but that shows a huge commitment when you come to the table with a higher earnest money. Next, you want to be flexible with your contingencies. That's going to be home inspections. That's going to be, possession days. There's all sorts of different things that could happen with that. If you need to sell your house first, there's going to be that contingency that's on there. Rightfully so, you can't really take that out. If you need to sell before you buy, of course, you need to have that contingency in place. It's not necessarily going to hurt you, but certain situations, it could actually harm you if you do have that contingency. However, the caveat is, if you're already listed or if you're already under contract on your current home as a seller and you're looking to purchase, that's gonna benefit you greatly compared to your house not being listed or your house not even being under contract yet. So if you're under contract, everything's moving forward and you have to have that contingency, you're good to go. Now with the other contingencies, like, your home inspection, maybe instead of saying, hey, give us 7 days for a home inspection, have an inspector ready to go, maybe do it within 3 days. That'll be a little bit of a helpful factor for the seller to consider your offer. Minor repairs, maybe put in the contract that anything that comes up on like a general home inspection that is not like a health hazard or something like mold in the attic, list stuff out specifically if you have to. That's going to help you, because I would not advise skipping a home inspection. Most offers, even with multiple offers happening and the toughness of this market, they still have home inspections that are on there. I personally, having construction experience, seeing things throughout, my whole career of construction and being around the business, get the home inspection. Don't skip out on that at all. However, you could list out maybe specific things if you want to actually address the potential to kind of help that multiple offer situation and ease the seller's mind, knowing that you're not gonna come after them for all these little minor details and kind of be like nitpicky on certain things. Before we get into the last few tips, if you found this video helpful to this point, you guessed it, smash that like button. It's greatly appreciated. Also, drop a comment down below. Let me know if you've had to deal with multiple offers and how you have won in the multiple offer situation. So the next one that's coming up is a quick closing process. And what I mean by that, I don't mean like 10 days. I've seen it happen. 10 days has happened, but that's typically cash offer that's happening. Try to keep it within the 30 days. Don't go over the 30 days. I understand if you have to and there's nothing you can do about it, but if you can avoid doing like a 45-day close or a 60-day close, it's gonna be more beneficial. Most sellers, when their house is listed, they're ready to go, they wanna get out, they wanna move on to the next one. Especially if they already have a house that they're purchased and it's like under contract and they're just waiting. They're gonna want a fast close. So keep that within a 30-day window. And also consider the fact that this is a seller's market. You're on their ball field, you are playing their game. You absolutely need to accommodate the seller's schedule. So you have to be flexible with close. If they want a 30-day close, you better give them that 30-day close. Again, it comes back to your agent finding out what the seller values most. If they need a quick close, but they need added possession, you're gonna have to be flexible with that stuff. Like I said, it's their sandbox. You're here to play, it's their rules. It's just the nature of the beast as of right now, being in this seller's style market. Another thing to consider is gonna be an escalation clause. And what is that exactly? It's basically stating that you are willing to match the highest offer and go above it. So if you have an offer in for, we'll just say $400,000, you have an escalation clause in there, you want to put in there, not like $500 over the highest, that doesn't really do much. I typically suggest around like $2,000, that kind of like, makes it a little bit of a sweeter deal. So say you have a $400,000 offer. You have an escalation clause in there that states you will go $2,000 over the highest offer. However, make sure you cap it, not to exceed, X amount. So if you offer that $400,000, you don't want to cap it at 410, maybe cap it at like 415. I typically tell my clients, 15, 20,000 is what I advise them to go over, because you may have an offer that comes in at 10,000 higher and then you're already capped, there's nothing you can do. So it'll basically say another offer comes in at 410, your offer just became $412,000 is how that would work, but it's not to exceed 415. If an offer came in at 414, well, you could be looking at 415, your max amount. So escalation clauses, they work really well. However, the caveat to it, some sellers look at that and wonder, why not just come in at that full price that you capped that you're willing to do? Again, it goes back to building the rapport with the list agent and finding out, good communication, like exactly what the seller's looking for. And then of course, we're gonna have showing your financial strength. By this, providing proof of funds. Provide your pre-approval letter. If you don't, like I said earlier, you're pretty much gonna get rejected 10 out of 10 times. Unless you're the only offer, then they'll at least come back and say, hey, where's the pre-approval funds? If it's multiple offers, they're just gonna say nope and move on to the next one. They wanna make sure that you're able to buy this house, like their house. And part of that of showing your financial strength is gonna be a reputable lender. If you have, John Smith of ABC Lending that nobody's heard of, that may be a red flag. If you have, somebody from a big company, say, Cross Country Mortgage, or some other big brand that's out there, that is actually going to benefit you a little bit more because they have a reputation. If they don't have a reputation, it could throw up some red flags. Again, have your lender reach out to the list agent and let them know, like, hey, you're good to go. And a tip for you for showing your financial strength: yes, the pre-approval is great. How about you go for getting the actual loan commitment? That's the next step. That means you've been approved and you are guaranteed that you're getting that loan. Go for that. You're gonna have to do some, more paperwork. There's a couple added steps that you'll have to get in the process, but it is better than having just a pre-approval. If you have full commitment, that is king when it comes to taking out a mortgage. Or if you have the funds for it, obviously cash typically wins. But if you are a cash buyer, you still have to show proof of funds that you have that amount in there. So winning in a multiple offer situation may seem quite daunting. However, with the right strategies in place, it will significantly increase your chances to win that dream home. Drop a comment down below. Let me know what you thought about the video. Let me know how your multiple offer situation has been going, or if you need help. I answer every single message that comes through. If you got any value from these tips, smash that like button. It's greatly appreciated. Be sure to subscribe to the channel for more insider advice on how to navigate the real estate market. And if you're ready to join in on the journey of home buying, go in the description below, click on my calendar link, book a call with me, or you can contact me directly here. Either way, I'd love to chat with you and see how I could help you out like I have many others. And with that, catch you on the next video.